What's up, Farming Family? How y'all doing today? Today, we're checking out the Series 1 Type B 15mm paddle from Proton. If you didn't notice, I had 11mm review of the power version that Andre uses in the Major League Pickleball series. But in this one, we're going to be talking about the 15mm control paddle. I have a code for them. It's Lanky. It's 20% off at discount. I reached out to him and told him that I generally don't like referring to, paddles or telling people to buy paddles if they're over like 180, 190. So they gave me a 20% code to get it down to that, which is awesome. But yeah, you're going to hear me, discuss the control, the twist weight, the swing weight, all the stuff you need to know about the paddle before you make a purchase. So stay tuned, but let's get into this. When it comes to the poppiness, this does feel like a more solid face than a lot of the raw carbon fiber does. So it does bounce off the face a little bit quicker than most of the Gen 2 raw carbon fiber paddles does. It's not like anything crazy or anything like that. So that's not anything to worry about. I don't think it launches off the face like it does the double black diamond, but it's also not as plush as the Pulsar. I would probably put it in the middle of the road when it comes to those two and pop, when it comes to pop. And when it comes to power, I would probably put it like number 8 or number 9 on the list when it comes to power and how hard you can hit the ball. The Carbon 1X, the Legacy Pro, paddles like that I feel hit a little bit harder, but they're also a little bit harder to control. So the power decrease, is a little bit nice, especially when you're not wanting it for singles or when you're just not a banger. In terms of control, I feel like the controllability is sort of right there with the Pulsars. You're not going to have problems with, your dinking, your drops, your resets, and your blocks, especially if you've used other Gen 2 raw carbon fiber paddles. This isn't a raw carbon fiber paddle, by the way. They use their own aerospace carbon fiber that they use in softball bats. But the control in this is definitely there. That's not going to be an issue. So if the 11mm with the Nomex core was sort of frightening to you, here's your polypropylene honeycomb course 15mm that is way more controllable. In terms of spin, they have the NanoTac coating over their paddle, which produces a crazy amount of spin, by the way. But I also want to mention that they have a lifetime warranty. If you don't like the paddle, you can message them, and they'll get back to you about it and do something about it. If the coating on the face messes up somehow, they'll replace it. If the edge guard, anything like that messes up, you reach out to the company and they will do the right thing, for you. Most companies have 3 to 6 months. A company stands by their product when they have lifetime warranty. Most companies aren't doing that. But yeah, back to the spin. You're going to get great spin. It's going to be very weird at first because you're going to feel it and it's going to feel like very slick, but it's like a sticky slickness compared to your grittiness you get with raw carbon fiber and the pill ply that they use to, make the texture. All right, the swing weight on this was 125. That puts it right there with the Pickleball Apes Pro line, the elongated version. So it's pretty head heavy for people who are either weak, don't have big wrists, or just very small, in general. So if you don't like a head heavy paddle, the 11mm might be, more down your alley. I forgot to ask them if they're going to make an 11mm polypropylene version, because if they would, I feel like that would be something that I would definitely want to try. But if you're not into, crazy head heavy paddles, this one won't be for you. So you could look towards 11mm, but just be aware that it's a pretty head heavy paddle. And the overall weight of the paddle that I got was 8.5 ounces. I saw on their website where it has custom weight options. So if you want something, I guess, lighter, you can email them or reach out to them about it and they'll try to, do what they can to make you happy in terms of weight. But mine was 8.5 ounces, like right out of the box. The twist weight on this is 6.43, which is basically right at average. But what I found when I played with this paddle was it played a little bit better than just your average sweet spot. I didn't feel the balls dying at the edge like I did with other paddles. Now, I'm not saying that the twist weight number is drastically different than how the sweet spot feels, but the sweet spot does feel a little bit different than what the twist weight indicates. I know there's been other paddles like that in the past that have felt like they've had a better sweet spot than a twist weight number indicates. This is one of them, but I would probably put it at like 6.7, 6.8 in terms of sweet spot if I was to go off of how it feels compared to the machine giving these numbers. When it comes to value for your money, my code gets it down to 176, which is below the threshold, that I told them that I would recommend paddles for if I liked them. A paddle can be like $300, $400. And if it's not drastically changing my gameplay or anything like that, I would not recommend anything that expensive. Most paddles, there's going to be slight differences, and you're going to be able to tell the slight differences. And based off your gameplay, it might increase your stats, you know, or increase your playability a little bit. But nothing is going to make you go from like a 3.0 to a 4.5 or from a 3.0 to a 4.0, unless you know you're going from like a crazy wooden paddle, and then it's definitely going to be a drastic jump. But I won't recommend paddles like that. It's nice of them to give me a code that gets it down to that threshold, because I really like playing with this paddle. And since the face is different and the texture is different, I would recommend you all at least trying it, because you all can always reach out to him and then send it back. I don't know like what the days is, if it's like a 30-day period, but definitely worth, you know, trying for this, you know, value, because it's not just your regular Gen 2 raw carbon fiber paddle. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. But until next time, stay safe, have a good day, drink plenty water. Peace, y'all.